Malibu offers a great fuel economy, great style.
Barstow or bust? Safety glasses, backups. We got smokes, extra pants. Gotta wonder, like, what was Barstow like when, you know, Hunter Thompson was driving through with what's-his-face in the Cadillac back in the 60s. I think Barstow has a lot of people passing through on the way to somewhere else.
I didn't leave advertising. Advertising left me. In that no one would hire me at a certain point. After I got out of my last rehab in, you know, Los Angeles here, people know each other, especially if you've won awards and you've been around, you've done some campaigns, you get your name in a couple of things. It seems like you keep hearing the same people over and over again. I was one of those people for a short, brief, shining period of time, and then I kind of flamed out. But, you know, it is a small business, and people say, oh, that Buckingham, he's good, but he's trouble. You know, it's funny because for 3 years, I was in the studio every day, couldn't find a job, was working a construction job, then coming in the studio and just burning resentment against the advertising business for not hiring me back. Why is my genius not being recognized? And it's funny, after I started selling work, I look back and it's like, I think, oh my God, thank God I wasn't hired when I wanted that job, because I don't think I'd be doing what I am today. I'm almost positive of it. Then I was not happy. Everything I went through kind of crystallized into what I'm doing now. I don't think I couldn't have done the work I'm doing 10 years ago because I wasn't ready. I just still had to go through so many things to become out on the other side, but at the same time, I remember all of it. Everything, all the craziness, all the good, and like I said, all the bad, and it's all sort of gelled for me now. And, you know, little snippets of things I heard, you know, 25 or 30 years ago are still rattling around in the head, and now I have a way to get it out, which is using the metal.
I love this shit. This is my office. It's what I do. I have a new friend here. I can run the forklift. My first time on a yard forklift. Usually they're really tight about this kind of thing. I'm happy about this. Not a bad day. Hey, check this out. Destination roll. Local. Where's that? Lexington? Lake Charles, where my family's from. I grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana. That's classic. How do we get that? Knoxville. Key West. Kansas City. I gotta get there. That's cool. Metal's metal.
I've never called myself an artist. I don't think I ever have to this day. Other people do. I call myself a sculptor. From the day I started in the advertising business, you know, a long time ago, pre-computers, etc., but they had color copiers, and they had art supplies, and they had markers and you know, Sharpies and paper and things you could play with. And that was the first thing I would do at almost any agency, is go first day straight into the art supply closet, load up with everything you can carry, take it home, or just take it back to my desk and just start dicking around with whatever I could find, making either weird collages or, you know, when I was working at an agency in Minneapolis, I spent hours playing with that color copier because it had blue and red, but if you ran a blue copy through again and changed it to red, you could get purple. But I think all of that sort of added up to where I am today. You know, I just finding things around me and playing with them when I wasn't, you know, somebody wasn't screaming at me about getting a commercial written. Well, there's two parts to this job. One is the idea, and then two is the physical realization of that idea. They're equally as difficult. Ideas are hard to come by. Good ideas are even harder to come by, and great ideas are very rare. And so all I ask for when I pray is for a good idea a day.
would also guess this has been repainted. See the paint drips? Probably not the original color. Cordless Sawzall. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Hey, good. Look at that. Gorgeous. Oh, Christ. It's so fucking hot. We got some good metal, yeah. Not happy about that 30 cents a pound. You know, you come all the way out here, like, I don't like it. However, you know, sometimes I'll ask a guy with the forklift, hey, can you pick a piece out of the pile for me without crushing it? And these guys are like, oh man, okay. And they'll go in there and they'll come up and they'll move some other things, and the guy will go in like a surgeon and just pluck this tank out of all this, you know, twisted wreckage. Oh, I want to cut that school bus hood up. Yeah. There she is. Meet it. This is Alan Kennedy.
Hi, Alan.
760. 760
Nice to meet you.
junk. Alan, first thing I want to do is I got this old school bus hood. Just want to cut some squares out of it and leave the rest with you.
All right.
Come on, baby. People come to the gallery and see the work on the wall. They go, oh, you go to the desert. Must be nice. I'm like, oh, it's a picnic. You can never have enough metal. You can never have enough, a big enough stash. You know, you always need to keep upping your supply. And a lot of times, the piece is dictated by the metal, I find. But I spent a lot of time building these things and working on the moving lines, just everything, just the working with metal all day long, every day. I did a line once from Scarface, say hello to my little friend, the scene where Tony Montana's got his machine gun, and he says, say hello to my little friend, and he machine guns his mansion. I'll see people walk up, they'll read the line, and invariably, they will adopt the persona of the character. They'll elbow their friend and go, look at that, say hello to my little friend, and they'll do the whole scene. People get it, you know what I mean? They are on the same train I'm on. Because I picked that line for a reason, and then they're reacting to it for a reason. You know, what that reason is, we'll let the scholars get into that, I don't know. Well, you know, I just know it's cool, and it makes me laugh, and I think it's interesting. This is kind of a one-off. I don't often work with found fabric, but this is exactly what this is. This I found this at a garage sale 10 years ago. It was a banner that I believe hung over a highway of some sort. It had grommets in it. It was about 3 feet tall, 15 feet long, and it said, stop, comply here with new California driver law. And I looked at it for years. I couldn't decide what to do with it. And one day I had it on the floor and I was looking at it. I was just going to cut out the cop graphic and throw the rest away. And I said, wait a minute, stop for California driver, cop, stop fornicating. That's it, stop fornicating. That's funny. I think it's funny anyway. So what I did was I cut it up and rearranged it on a piece of plywood, and then I noticed I didn't have a G for fornicating. So what I did was I took an upside down D, upside down, I guess backwards, and blocked some out and added some. Then I realized I didn't have a T, so that is an upside down L with a piece added. All of the stains, tears,
fraying and stuff like that, I found it exactly like that. Well, this has a connection back to Ray Kelly. I think I mentioned earlier how when I made my first piece in Ray's basement, Ray turned to me and said, "Buckingham, art is just the last 3 letters in fart. Don't you forget it. Patooey." He spit on the floor, and I think he flicked a cigarette in my face. So Ray kind of put the fear of art into me. You know, art was kind of a dirty word. And so for years, I made furniture, scrap metal furniture. And I said, don't make any art, just make functional, cool stuff, you know, stuff people can use, no art. I'm thinking about something I thought of the other day, and I think I laughed out loud. I was like, you gotta do that. That's funny. It's kind of weird, it's kind of sick, it's kind of twisted, it's very you, and you must do it. This is like finding a Warhol or a Picasso on the back of a Kostabi. No knock on Kostabi, but check this out. Okay, I bought it for this, but this is what I found later. Where is a trash can that I can eat out of it today? Thank you for your help. I'm serious about what I am asking about. Wow, that just says so much. I was a humor writer for a long time, and I got a lot of work that way, and people didn't hire me for what they thought I could do. They hired me for what I had been doing. I had a track record, a reel of commercials, and you know, various successes. And now that I'm working for myself, and trying to think of, you know, what am I going to do next? What should I make? What can I do? What's funny? What's a good idea? And you can't force an idea. If you try, it doesn't happen. I have found that I've never had a good idea with anybody else in the room. I'm a lone thinker. So solitude actually fuels the creativity until I can't do it any longer, and then I'll have an assistant to do it for me. I can't imagine ever stopping what I'm doing. As soon as I stop breathing, I'll stop doing this.